Hey guys, Jeremiah here. So I just briefly want to explain what private equity real estate investing is. You've probably heard of Blackstone, BlackRock, Carlyle Group. These are the biggest companies in the world that are private equity firms. My company, Patriot Holdings, is a private equity firm as well. We focus on niche private real estate investments. So that means self-storage, manufactured housing, small bay warehouse. And what it is, it's just a complicated term of saying that we raise money from private equity, meaning investors, just normal people like you and me, and then from institutions or pension funds. Now, we only focus on raising money from accredited investors or individuals, but we're able to take that money and invest it into real estate. Now, what makes a good private equity firm? Well, number one is their strategy. You have to have a great business strategy in order to generate predictable, duplicatable returns. So why we like manufactured housing is because I bought hundreds of mobile home parks over the years, and I was able to increase rents, I was able to improve them, make them better communities, and I was able to sell them for a profit. It wasn't sexy, but we were able to do it over and over again. The investors knew they had a predictable, consistent return, so they kept investing with me. And then over the last 7 years, I pivoted over to self-storage, where there was a niche in a marketplace, and I was able to find these storage deals over and over again throughout the Northeast, able to build them from the ground up, able to expand them, and then able to implement technology so we could raise the rents and generate a lot of returns for our investors. So private investors would invest in this system, and then you have to have a great team behind it. You have to have a team of 8 players, experienced team, where these people know how to construct the units, they know how to do the accounting, they know how to do the operations, and they know how to go find the deals, where we have a system that continually find the deals over and over and build relationships with owners and brokers. So when you're investing in a company or a private equity firm, you want to make sure that they have a great system, strategy, and team. Once they have that, then you have a better probability of getting good returns on your investments. I would highly suggest you look at passively investing with a private equity firm or a sponsor or a general partner, whatever you want to call it, rather than you going out and doing it on your own, unless you are actively in the business. There's a difference between active investing and passive investing. If you're active investing, that means you're hands-on, you're doing it all, you're finding the deal, you're managing it, you're getting the financing, you're guaranteeing those loans. That's a different business than passively investing in something. And I passively invest in other real estate companies as well, because I don't want to have to do all the work. But if you're actively involved with it, you got to be committed. I mean, this is a full-time business. This isn't you just, dipping your toe in thinking you're going to buy storage or real estate or apartments. I mean, this is a full-time committed exercise. It's a business. You got to operate like a real business. But if you want to passively invest, look at private equity firms. So what makes a great private equity firm versus investing in some of the big firms? Well, the big firms, you got to have at least $1 million minimum in capital to invest. A lot of these big firms, the returns are less, and you don't really have an opportunity to get in there because it's not readily available. You have to have a relationship with someone. Some of the mid-sized firms like me, we have strong returns, and you're betting on the jockey that's willing to die on the horse. That means someone like myself has a lot of skin in the game, meaning a lot of money invested in the business or in the asset. We have our credit. I have my credit on the line. I have my reputation on the line. Plus, I don't make profits until the investor makes profits. So the way that good private equity investments are structured are waterfalls or hurdles, meaning that the investors get the bulk of the profits up front, and then after you meet a minimum return, in our case around 18% annually, if they get an average return of 18%, then we get to share it in the bulk of the profits. But until then, all the investors, they get the capital investors, the guys that are actually putting in the money, they get the returns first. So that makes great investments for private equity, and that makes great investments for these limited partners. So look at it more. You can check out our private equity investments on patriotholdings.com or buy my book, Finding Your Edge. I break down what private equity investing is and the different calibers of investment companies and the different sizes of investments you can get in. But ultimately, you want to look at this space because this is the trend for the future. It's already been here, but now the masses are understanding it, meaning that asset allocation, how big pension funds, hedge funds, how Harvard endowments, all these different major investment firms and institutions, they're investing based on asset allocation. So they're taking different pieces of the pie of all their capital they have and putting it in different areas of investments. So you always have the traditional stocks and bonds and municipal bonds, the very safe, dependable, low returned assets. But then more and more are they looking at private equity investments where they're putting money into large private equity funds, where they're putting money into commercial real estate or private equity businesses. So I would look at this asset allocation for your personal portfolio. No longer are people subjected to just putting money in mutual funds or putting money in traditional stocks. I mean, you want to make sure that you're putting something where you are going to get a long-term, consistent, dependable return rather than just throwing your money in the market and gambling it like you're in Vegas. That's private equity in a nutshell. I would look more into it. Thanks for coming by the channel. I'll talk to you later.